Good morning, everyone. Good morning, America. Good morning, Americas. We have an international show today. Welcome back to the Quarantine Film Series. I'm your host, Kabir Segal. Lovely to be back in the morning. And we're hosting these conversations with filmmakers in the morning. These are filmmakers who have incredible projects. Many of their films have been accepted into top film festivals. My friend Shane and Shane who's producing the show, we finished our first film and we were so excited to hit the festival circuit, but a lot of the festivals have been canceled too. And without the festivals, it's hard to get the sales agent, the distributors. So we created this platform to spotlight amazing artists. These are the filmmakers who are creating movies that will be arguably on your streaming services in the months and weeks and years ahead. So this is where you hear it first. And obviously at night, we do the quarantine concert series. And I think last night was show number 82 in 60 something consecutive days. So that's where you hear live music. So we're going to keep doing those. We're going to go until show 100, and I think which is on early June, and then we'll wind down that series. So the end is in sight, but we enjoy doing these conversations with musicians in the evening and filmmakers in the morning, so that you can we can all take part in the creative world, because it's important as we're living this international pandemic to support the creative community as best we can. If you're watching live, if you're watching on the rebroadcast, tell us where you're watching from. I'm obviously in Atlanta, and our incredible guest is in La Ciudad de Mexico, close to Mexico City. So we'll talk to him in a second. And with that, if you have a question, drop it in the comment field, and we'll try to get him to opine to your question. So this is a very, very accomplished and just brilliant filmmaker who is making works at the highest of levels. When you see his work, there's always such amazing craft and great energy and spirit to his work. Works a lot in the animated space. So I'm excited. Many of you know who he is. If you're meeting him for the first time, you're going to be blown away with his artistry. He's an independent filmmaker, an animated director, an author, an illustrator, and his short films have been selected for many festivals around the world. And he began as an illustrator at an early age, and he's authored some 15 books. Sounds familiar. And his works include many topics. And he's been working with some of my friends in the music space. So please welcome to the show the brilliant Marcos Almada Rivero. Hola.
Hola, Kabir. Hello, everybody.
Yes. Tell us first, where are you broadcasting in particular? Is it Mexico City?
I live in a place called Tepoztlan. It's a small town, like an hour away from Mexico City. It's really, really nice.
Got it. And tell me, how has the quarantine affected you? What were you going to be doing that's since been canceled because of the quarantine?
Well, like you, I just made a short film last year, and it was already starting its festival tour, but most of the festivals got postponed or canceled. So it's been hard in that sense. But on the other side, I usually work at home, so it's not that different for me. And I try to make it an opportunity to use that extra time to do my projects. No, so it's not as bad.
Well, let's talk about some of those projects. The one in particular I want to begin with is this remarkable music video that you worked with on the John Finbury project, LLEGARÁ El Día.
Llegará.
I'm going to have to practice my Spanish. So tell us about that.
Llegará el día is translated as the day will come. And I was invited to this project by Emilio Miller. He's an Argentinian producer. And he was working with John Finbury on this album called Cuatro. It's a jazz album. And the song was already produced. And the song has this very open lyrics, very symbolic, very poetic lyrics. And Emilio just said, like, go ahead, illustrate it, animate it. And it was a big challenge, but also a very fun opportunity to do something different. it was tough because we were like a two man team, and we have to make it look big with two people, no. But I like the result. We worked it very differently. Usually animation is very methodic, very structured. You don't start working with unless you have like super clear what you're gonna do. All the steps are very clear. But we tried to do this completely different. We just like I started drawing and I sent the images to my animator, and he started like working with them like a very much more free process, kind of like a jazz improvisation. So it was a lot of fun.
It really is, and it's a beautiful, beautiful project. And Emilio Myler, one of the most wonderful producers and a colleague, respected colleague of mine. It's been great to hear about all the work he's been putting into this project. Is there what's the best way people can see this video right now? I think people need to see it.
It's in YouTube. You just put "Llegará el día" music video. Llegará is double L. G.
We'll put it up there.
Yeah.
Shane, maybe Shane, you can put it up there. The other thing. Yeah, exactly. How did you go about selecting the mood? Because I found the mood to be very melancholy and almost kind of haunting in a way. So, what was it about the aesthetic or of the music that helped you move you towards this style in particular?
Well, the words, the lyrics are, as I told you, they're super free, super open. It says something like flowers drowning in the sea, eagles flying in the sky, the smell of incense. So they're just like different images. And Emilio wrote the song, wrote the lyrics, and he had this idea. It has a political. When he wrote it, he had a political a message in it, embedded in it. So he talked with me what his thoughts were, but he was like super open in letting me do my own interpretation on that. I'm really grateful for that. So when he told me his image, I tried to recuperate it and put my view about it. So it has a lot of Mexican references, some political references, but I try to keep it open for interpretations. I don't want to tell you what it means.
I was going to ask
what stands for.
Yeah.
So for you, the puppet means something, means a certain character is all right. Anyone can think whatever, no?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what.
Talk about that. Talk about that as an artist. How do you navigate being too didactic versus like having the audience work out what it means for them, right? So these aren't that, Shane, but I think on El Dia, on this particular project, how do you navigate the subtlety of doing something with a political message without beating someone over the head with what it means?
This is something I worked out very recently in my work, because I started doing picture books for kids or illustrated books, and there's this idea that book for kids should be formative and educational, you know, and that's not always the case. Some books are just there to entertain, others just to inspire, others to improve your imagination. But I always had this constant fight with publishers or teachers that they want to put like values on the books, no? And sometimes the book needs values, no? Of course. But I learned to divide what's poetic and what's educational, no? There are two different areas. Sometimes they collide, or sometimes they coexist. and sometimes they help each other. But when you're working on it, you have to be clear what the image is working for. Is just trying to be poetic, or is it trying to educate? So having this in mind, it gets much more easier, no? And in this project, it's not an educational video, and it's not for kids. So from the beginning, I had it very clear that it was just a series of inspirational images to make you come up with your own conclusions. No?
Right, right. And how did you think about the music pairing? Did you want the music pairing to exactly match the animated graphic, what was going on in the music, or did you have license to obviously interpret as you will?
Well, we had complete freedom to do it. Carlos Escuaga, he's my working partner. He's the animator. I do the artwork, like by layers. I give him like the metaphor I use. I am the puppet maker. He's the puppeteer. So I make the puppet digitally in images. Then I give them to him, and he moves them. And he's very good editing and finding the right moment. No, and then of course Emilio gave us his thoughts to make it more precise. Um, but yeah, I think we found those some bridges of more calm music, then some more intense music. And it's really fun to play with the rhythms, no?
Mm-hmm.
I think animation is one of the most complex arts there are, because you have images, sound, music, movement, story, lightning. I mean, you have a whole world inside a screen, and you have to control all the details. And in animation, everything you see in the screen was designed and made by someone. You know, if you're doing live action, maybe you just put the camera and take a shot, and someone else designed everything. I mean, I'm not minimizing the work of live action, because there was some design and there was the conscience of choosing what you want to see. But in animation, everything gets way much more complicated. Uh, Usually, that's why there's so little animation in the world, because you need so many people to do a single project. I mean, it's really, you see the credits of a animated series or program, they're like 40 people, huh?
Yeah.
And there were just 3 people doing the work of maybe 30 people. My partner and I have found a way to be very to optimize, and to be very practical, and to get the best out of our talents. No, he also makes audio. I make scripts. I mean, I make my storyboards. You have to be a multitask
Mm-hmm.
person in order to get this done. Otherwise, you have to hire 30 people, and we don't have the money to do that.
Yeah. What do you think it is about animated videos that connects with audiences in a way that's different from, I guess, non-animated? Is it the power of imagination? What do you think it is?
There's this magic of animation means moving the unmovable. No? You can do animation with yourself. You like take photos. Actually, live action is animation because it's false movement. But when you see a drawing or a clay puppet move, it just has this magical. It's just a magical happening of things, dead things becoming to life. No, and there's also this appeal of seeing the. Well, I try in my animations. I try to make them very personal. No? I try to see that you can and notice this, like the sketch, the stroke. I mean, I like Pixar and all that kind of animation, but that's not what I want to do, because that's so generic now. I mean, it's obviously it's amazing, but it's just made by 1,000 people, and everyone's like specialized in one little tiny part of a image, and it loses like the personal touch. So all my videos, I try to make them look like they're handcrafted, no? And that makes it much more appealing, I think.
Totally. Walk us through some of these graphics on the screen. Maybe Shane, you can tell us what's what. We want to walk through some of your portfolio now. What is this from?
There was a video, a documentary we were hired to make. It was very interesting because there was a big earthquake 2 years ago in Mexico. And it was a very big thing. And now people got quite connected to this event because a lot of people came out of the streets to help everyone. And there was this friend of mine, she's a psychologist, and when she was there, she was taping everybody with her phone. So she had a lot of audio material of testimonies and people talking about this event and how we should get together and work. We should be together not only in earthquakes but all the time. No? The documentary is called Nosotros, and it was interesting because she had this audio and she had no images. So we thought it would be interesting that I would put the images to the pre-recorded audios. So I didn't have an image because I didn't record it. So the images were completely different to what you saw, but you re-signify the text with my images.
Yeah.
So it was
it's beautiful
project. Yeah.
Tell us about your collaboration with Mr. G, the great singer-songwriter. What have you done with him?
Yeah, Mr. G, I've been working with him for probably 5 years. He contacted me because he saw some of my books. And I agreed to work with him, and it's been great. He's a great person. He has this great spirit for music. He makes music for kids. So we connected very immediately. And he's also very interested in environmental things, which I am also. So we have this common ground. And I made him first. I made him an album called Los Animales. He also sings in Spanish, so it was like this bilingual album, and it got to win the Latin Grammy. So it was crazy because I told him that's the closest I'll ever be to winning a Grammy. I don't have anything to do with music.
That's the one, right?
No, that's the second one.
Los Animales, right? I remember.
It's the red one, yes.
Exactly.
That's the second one, Mundo Verde, and then I got to make an animated video for that album as well. And right now I'm doing another album artwork. It's called Ritmo y Música. He's working with Jose Valentino.
Mm-hmm. Who's an alum of our program. He was on our concert series last weekend. So this is a family broadcast. We like to include all our friends.
Yeah.
We get the musicians, we get the filmmakers, all in the same projects. But it is really a community of artists. So what are you, first of all, where can people find your stuff? What's the best place to find you on the internet?
I'm terrible at promoting myself.
Well, we're going to change that. So let's do it for you. We have some websites here, right?
I have this website I rarely update. I think I'm going to write it in the chat.
Okay.
The chat? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Also, there's micofilm.com. What is that?
Micofilm.com is my partner's webpage.
Mm-hmm.
So he uploads all the videos that can be uploaded. So there's a lot of animations there you can see.
Okay.
My blog, where you can see my work as an illustrator. My Facebook is Marcos Almada Rivero, my name.
Cool. So check out micofilm.com for this incredible to learn more about Marcos and his incredible work, obviously the website of his partner, and he uploads all of these great examples of the work. And obviously, if you want to follow along and go inside the mind of Marcos, you can check out his blog to see what he's thinking about. So Marcos Almada Illustrator.blogspot.com. Click the link or check the link on the crawl, so you can, and also check him out on Facebook. And I mean, really, as you're seeing all these incredible rendering, you're seeing the sophistication of his work and the elegance and the grace of which he brings his thoughts into beautiful reality. So really a pleasure having you on the show, Marcos.
No, the pleasure is mine, and I really thank you for making this community, as you say. Sometimes we artists, especially illustrators, are always working by ourselves in our little studios, like vampires, or writers as well. And you never know where your work is going to end up. So it's always great to be connected with people. I love to receive feedback from people you've never met. So please write if you have questions or want to know how I did something. Write me on Facebook. I'll be glad to respond to you.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, everyone. The wonderfully talented Marcos Almada Rivero, and thanks for being on the show. We're gonna have we keep doing these concerts, these film conversations in the morning. I think we're doing one tomorrow, aren't we, Shane? Tomorrow morning, I think around 10:30 a.m. Eastern, or roughly around the same time. So hopefully check in then. And obviously the concert series tonight, show number 83 tonight, with Yamila Guerra, and we're keeping with the Latin theme, of course. So with that, I want to thank my friend Shane Abudo, who produces these shows. If you're in the Los Angeles area, try Shane's hummus. He's a wonderful hummus maker. Artisanal would be the word, I think. And he's also a great sort of person to eat with. So, hit him up, knock on his door, find him, and have a great time with him. Everyone, if you can, I know everyone's going out and the stay-at-home orders are being lifted, but stay home if you can, and wish everyone happy health. Goodbye, everyone.